Hello everyone, my name is Derek and welcome to the Netflix Knowhow, the review show here to help you stop browsing and start watching. Today we have Turner and Hooch, the 80s buddy cop comedy starring Tom Hanks as neurotic detective Scott Turner, who is tasked with solving a local man's murder after inheriting the victim's slobbery canine friend, Hooch. You'll notice that I called this a buddy cop comedy because that's essentially what it is, except with a bit of a furry friend slant to it. I'm gonna tell you right now, the main plot of this movie is completely forgettable. Something about a criminal underground and corruption and drug smuggling, you know, all of the goodies that you would normally find in any sort of stereotypical cop movie. But let's be real here, nobody is watching this for the plot. Aww. The real draw of the movie, obviously, is Hooch, who is... Aww. Hooch is a gigantic ball of fuzzy, lovable energy and chaotic destruction, which can be both a good thing and a bad thing. Good because, well... Alright, we get it, he's cute. Bad because, well, Hooch is not exactly what one would call a, good boy.
Of the NRDA Buddy Car Competition. Sunday. Sam the Killer Feelers can be the eliminator. Kill Monster.
The main conflict of the movie comes between Turner, who is obsessively neat and orderly to the point where he would probably have a stroke if he so much as spilled a drop of water on her shirt, and then you have Hooch, who is, well, he's a dog. The movie kind of plays like a wild goose chase where Hooch is constantly running around and causing havoc and chaos and destruction for everything and everyone in his path, and then there's Turner running behind him as he is frantically trying to clean up everything in its wake. It results in some pretty hilarious situations, and I have to admit, I find it endlessly entertaining to see Tom Hanks in a perpetual state of flustered irritation. They do end up forming a pretty strong bond later in the movie, and I really like the progression of it, both in terms of their specific relationship and also in terms of the character development that Turner goes through as the movie progresses. The best scenes by far are the ones that focus exclusively on the relationship between Turner and Hooch themselves. There's one scene in particular where Turner is having a stakeout in his car with Hooch in the back seat, and it's just so gleefully silly and absurd that you can't help but smile and just have a good time with it. You can tell that Tom Hanks is having so much fun in that scene, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was actually improvised, at least for the most part. Sadly, there really isn't much else to talk about. As I said already, the plot is just wrought with cliches and is completely forgettable by the end of it. Every single character only exists to fill some sort of cliche, stereotypical trope or to help advance the plot in some trivial way. There's also a love interest for Turner, and it just feels so completely shoehorned in as if it's some kind of contractual obligation to the genre. I mean, I guess she's the most interesting character after Turner and Hooch themselves, but it's just blatantly obvious that she's only in this movie to make a point about how socially awkward Turner is. It ultimately comes down to being just a very generic and safe studio movie that's just checking things off a checklist for how to make a buddy cop movie. It's all very bland and clean with no hint of original thought or even the slightest sense of risk. Yet for some reason this is still a movie that pops up in conversation from time to time and I occasionally see on listicles, and I have no idea why. Aww. Oh, right. I guess if you really like dogs or you're some sort of Tom Hanks completist, you might get some enjoyment out of this, but for the rest of us, you're probably just going to be better off barking up another tree. Thumbs down. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and then share it with your friends. I would really appreciate if you could do that for me. You could also head over to Facebook and over to Twitter, follow me on there. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on things, have some discussions. And as always, if you want to know your flicks, you know where to click. Happy hunting, guys. I'll see you next time.